Dixit Domine, Susceptomeus, Estu et Refugium, Meum Deus, Meum Speratum Deum. It wasn't given unto you to interpret, especially not the suspect. This is a virus and the son of ultraviolet, chosen with a loud like a trumpet. Father, we are only water in a bucket, but to him you are like we can spit on the toilet. The word is going all over the internet. The truth being louder than the most. Your whole power system is being reset. Both must be slaughtered, the pig and the piglet. The light shine upon the target. You are nothing but a silhouette. A pickpocket who stole our spirituality. Since when honey came from our net, act like you are the beginning and then of the alphabet. Your kingdom is now. Enjoy it, smoke a cigarette, and our kingdom will be our pet. You'll be working from sunrise to sunset. We'll be upon you like a martinet. System is crumbling like the Soviet. Mediocre like scoreboard on the clarinet. The Gentiles' world teaching is inept. Israelites and that matter is our depth. The teaching must be precept upon precept. The word is a living water gushing like a jet. Happy Jubilee. Glory. We are free. I say glory. From the books and the concert brings he can. Playing with the words is like brainwashing roulette. Do the honor meet when he adjusts a snippet. Revelation 13:10 for precept. The word is a lie to us, it's a magnet. We are the living proof of the holy tablet. Your leader's a massive puppet. Your God is a bigger moped. The script of the Bible is a movie set, a real blockbuster on a high budget. The magical scrolls make them upset, yet spiritual power they haven't met. The word took them out like a green beret, captured and sold in the open market. Chastised with bullwhip and afflict with the belt. Heard the truth, hearts melt. Tainted spirit cause a racket. Spiritual concussion, no helmet. Recompense is returning from the pervert. Hebrew 12:16, red, blonde or brunette. Lamentation 4:21-22, still no outlet. Double trouble in your Somerset. Shalom Yasharala, our kingdom is coming next. Be at peace, there be no shake of trouble. Glory, happy Jubilee. Glory, we are free. I say glory. This show you like spiritual etiquette. Numbers 35-33 is a huge dead. Y'all better bring a tourniquet. The truth shut you down, wicked cabaret. No Jacob Trouble, be loving no fret. We are POW certified vet. 3 eyes Atlas, reverse for you cadet. Happy Jubilee, wear your crown and coronet. Michael's in the midst with the bayonet. Great glory to our magical baguette. Great praise when rising is our epithet. He that dwelleth in the aid of the Most High shall abide under the protection of the God of Jacob. Dixit Domine, Deus meus, spirabo en meum. He shall say to the Lord, thou art my protector and my refuge, my God, in him will I trust. Be at peace. Glory, happy Jubilee. Glory, we are free. I say glory, 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 the abyss. Rain rising. We are free. Happy Jubilee. The abyss. Happy Jubilee. Glory. Great glory. Much love. Holy Spirit, our mother. We love you, mother. The great earth. Love you. Is that what daddy had? Great glory. Rain rise. Great glory.
All praises to the Most High, to the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to our celestial, our ancestors, our Mishpachah. All praises to the Most High. So we have come to a time and space where things have changed once again. We have sat back and partitioned our Elohim for criminal justice, for just us upon the heathen nations. And the Most High has heard our prayers and has begun the judgment of the daughters and sons of the heathen. And we give all praises to our Elohim for that. And now next up is civil justice. We've done our criminal case against the heathens. Now it's the civil case against the heathen. Why? Because the civil case is what they brought against us to take all of our wealth. They brought uncivil rest to us, to ourselves. They created diatribes of madness to put us away, to keep us away, to make us fade away, so we couldn't stay, so we couldn't say what was ours. And the civil justice that we seek today is now the wealth which brings them fully to dismay. And people will be upset about that. Oh, well, this is what is in store for the whole world. And this is also what was written. This is the prophecy for our kingdom. This is why we shall come out of her with great substance, as the rare century level astrological sign of our time comes in. And people are shaken to their core to realize that we no longer allow them to be next to us, to be for us, to be around us in a way that can no longer bring us, or rather lead us astray. And a lot of it is very interesting to watch the psychosis, the psychopathy of the day. So many people are upset because we sought justice for just us. Now, with the gates open again, this time us in alignment and in order, walking in, now we get to also ask for civil penance, civil justice for our substance, for our wealth. And the world can feel some sort of way if they want. It doesn't matter. That's not on us. What this is now truly about is the double-edged sword, cutting to and fro, left and right, to make the Most High's might be seen and heard and felt. And this is the glory of the time, great glory of our day. Because now we've seen how the Most High has done his thing for us in a mighty way. We've seen it. We've seen the judgment that's coming, that's here upon the heathen. We've seen how they've been washed away. We've seen how they're fallen into disarray, into dismay, dismally like. We've seen this. We've seen Mitch and little man get taken out the way. We're watching these old cantankerous politicians fall at their knees and become diseased about the things that are occurring. We've seen this now. But what's next? Next is to obtain our substance so we can gain it back. So that this time we're not looking for a Lamborghini, a house. We're not looking for clout. We're not looking for some sort of material thing that will create some sort of envy and jealousy. We're not looking for that. That's not what we're into now. Now it's to build for the kingdom, to take the things that we had and build the altar, build the throne, build the inner sanctum, the inner circle, to make it our home, to build the kingdom for our nation, for our Elohim. Yes, this is no longer a dream for us. This is what is real. And now that we understand that these things that we have done can now be seen and evidenced, now we're next up on the scene. Now we are next up on the scene. Now we are next up on the scene. And that's a beautiful thing. We don't have to worry about these heathens crying the blues about Jebus of the whites and their sins, and now they want to be lawful here at the end. It doesn't matter. No, what matters now is that we ask for our substance, for our resources back. And with that, we gain. Because again, we are already rich in spirit. Nobody's going to take that from us. That's why they're trying to lead us astray as they being led astray. They can't do anything to us today. They are on the run. Cops got their gun and they're not having any fun. So this is our turn. And now we get to ask. Why? Because we've been good stewards with what we have. All of us. Collectively. That's why now we are stepping the game up. Now the game's afoot. Now it's higher power, higher learning, higher living. These people want to act like they can move forward, they can move up the ladder of Jacob without being Jacob. No, they can't. No, they cannot. They're not even next to us. They're at the bottom. They're at the tail. Flaying around, trying to make us come down to where they are. And that's not happening anymore. The wealth of the nations shall come back to us, and they cannot abhor us anymore. They have not been good stewards with the Creator's creation, the Creator's substance and resources, and land and water and elements and air. They have not done well anywhere. Their lewdness, their 5 points of living under a Canaanite system, robbery, love themselves, lewdness, never tell the truth, and hate their masters. Their time is up. Therefore, when their time is up in rule, they also have to give up the wealth. Because you can't have wealth and be a fool. You will lose it all and be a tool of your own demise. And this is where we are right now. And this is why, again, we shall come out of her with great substance, as this rare century level astrological sign comes in for us. For us. Isaiah 14:14. Thus saith the Elohim, the labor of Egypt, and the merchandise of Ethiopia, and the Sabians, men of stature, shall come over unto thee, and they shall be thine. They shall come after thee, in chains they shall come over, and they shall fall down unto thee. They shall make supplication unto thee, saying, surely that your Elohim is in thee, and there is none else. There is no God. Verily, thou art a good. Verily, thou art a Elohim that hideth thyself, O Elohim of Yasharel, the Savior. They shall be ashamed and also confounded, all of them. They shall go to confusion together that are makers of idols. But Yasharel shall be saved in the Most High with an everlasting salvation. You shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. But wait, I thought about Jebus was to save them. I thought Jebus was to save them. They've been saved from their sin to sin again and again and again. Now, in this dispensation, they lose it all. They've crapped out. There's no more left for them to shout about. They are weakened. Their wealth has been stricken. Their old men, their old women are lacking, yet they still rule them. They vote for them. They hope that they can get some money out of them. They've given all of their souls to them in hopes that they will find favor in them. Yet we, the Mishpachah, are seeking only our Elohim, gaining favor, gaining wisdom, gaining substance, resource, wealth. Why? Because we have to build up for ourselves. As the wicked had built up their storehouses of riches for us, for the people of the book. And there's no way, no how these people out here are going to do anything righteous with anything, any resource, any wealth. They're not righteous beings. So here we are, now about to open up the gates again, or rather the gate is about to be opened up for us to walk in. And now we ask for civil justice. So all praises to the Most High. We have Brother Slide tonight, and we have Sister Romy. And Sister Romy is going to bring some more edification, enlightenment to the nation. And Brother Slide will be here to help maintain trolls and bring edification. So all praises to the Most High. Shalom Mishpakat, Baruch Hashem for being here. We're glad you're here. We're happy you're here. Sister Romy.
Shalom.
Shalom, sis. Shalom, sis.
Are you getting feedback?
I am not, no.
Okay.
You know what?
Are
I
you?
am.
You're getting feedback?
I am. Not anymore. Not anymore. Okay. Shalom, shalom, beloved nation. Shalom. Um, Brother Moriel, are you going to read Exodus 12:35 to 36?
I sure can.
Okay, because you read that to me after we had our conversation.
Okay. You tell me when. You
Now,
ready?
yeah,
Okay. Exodus 12:35-36. And the children of Yasharal did according to the word of Moses, and they borrowed of the Egyptians jewels of silver, jewels of gold, and raiment. And the Most High gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they lent unto them such things as they required, and they spoiled the Egyptians. All
right.
praise to the Most High.
All praises to the Most High. And, you know, mine kind of reads a little different. And I'll just read the last part. And the Most High had given the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they granted them what they requested. Thus, we plundered the Egyptians.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So everybody's familiar with the scripture. The wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. According to the scriptures, the wicked are the Gentiles. Now, we really know who they are, but we're going to say all of 83 Constantine Christians, Roman unholy pedophile Catholics. They have all the wealth. Corporate America has all the wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So if the wealth of the wicked is stored up, then who is storing it up? The wicked. These people are wicked. It's stored up for us. Now, before I get into how I came up with this civil recompense, I want to go through the barbell basket. And this is a once in a lifetime celestial event that is taking place basically between the 19th and the 21st. It will peak. However, it's an event that will last 2 years. So Barbauld, who studied cyclical planetary movements for decades, believed this rare clustering marks a period of massive, that word is very important, civilizational reset. And then it says the birth of a new era. I'm going to change that to the birth of the new nation. New era, new nation.
Right.
Because a new era implies that there's going to be a new ruler. And that ruler is going to be the Most High. Never again, when the kingdom comes, never again shall man rule. Certainly not the angels, only the Most High. So if you're not keeping his laws, and that was the video I sent you with the white guy talking about, you know, right. And he's like, if you want the protection of the Most High, you got to keep the law. He holds up the Bible and then he puts it down because they're not keeping it, because he should have opened and read something about doing that. So this is a new era, and we're going to usher it in because the planets are tightly locked in a dynamic forward moving. Now, you've heard Brother Moriel say many times about forward moving versus forward, which is going back. So it's forward moving fire and air signs. And that's why we're seeing a lot of fire and heat. Okay. And I will get into the scripture in Revelation that talks about the sun scorching them, because it's happening right now. When 1,200 people die in France in one day, that's a scorch. It is interpreted as a time of revolutionary technological advancement and societal restructuring. So let's just break down technological advancement. The highest technological advancement you can have on earth is the Most High and the angels. Not the computer, not CERN. CERN is shut down, so not CERN for sure. Not their internet, not their weapons. Nothing for nobody can beat the Most High. So we're good with that. But societal restructuring, that's going to be the new kingdom. When it's to come, I don't know. But societal restructuring means that whatever is here now is not going to be here tomorrow. And that's why when you said, and it's funny because I said the same thing yesterday. I had visitors and I said, there's a bunch of old people in Congress, and old people don't like change, and things
Nope.
have to change because people are suffering out there. Okay. Barbo became well known for forecasting major turning points, including the global pandemic. He predicted the global pandemic through the astrological events. So he didn't really predict, he read the astrological events, and he died before it. So the pandemic, years before 2020. But interestingly, he didn't believe astrology was simply about predicting crisis. He believed it could also identify when humanity begins, right?
Yep.
So let's look at the power meets the promise. That's us.
Sure is.
Right. I got the power, right, of the
Yep.
Most High, of the Most High. I have the power of the law, statutes, and commandments. I have the power of the word of the Most High. So it says, for the first time since 1922, expansive Uranus flows into auspicious trine. That's 120-degree angle. You guys should just do a small little course in geometry on shapes. Just study shapes and you'll get the angles. So then 120-degree angle with magnetic Pluto. So Pluto is right now very magnetic. That means that our lips to the Most High's ears, as long as our intention is correct, we can ask for civil judgment. And I'm going to give you all the different ways, especially for the labor of the ancestors, for sure.
That's right.
For sure. Okay. And then for all the, like I said, they send somebody in and you got to train them. And then next thing you know, you're out of a job. They've done that to our people.
Yep.
Okay. Used our talent and never paid for it. What we say in a very, from the heart way, this is not just about collecting. This is not just about collecting money. So our intention. So Pluto is magnetic on July 19th. So on the 19th, Pluto goes into a magnetic mode. The first of the two in 2026. The other is on November 29th. And see, on the 13th lunar cycle, the full moon in November ushers in the Day of Remembrance for December. And see, a lot of stuff is going on in November. That's why I know that the calendar by Enoch is the correct one.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So from July 19th to the 21st of 2026, Uranus, Pluto trine gets even bigger. An ultra rare configuration forms as Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto all occupy the same degree, which is 4 degrees, in their respective signs. Now, the number 4, the first thing that comes to mind, okay, we don't do birthdays. The first thing that's why I can't look at this chat. I'm going to have to shut the chat off. The first thing that comes to mind is this: 4 degrees to the 4 corners of the earth, right? So we do have people in Canada. Brother Leon contacted me early this morning. I'll give his testimony briefly later. We have people in London. We have people all over. I know there was somebody in Sweden. Yeah, it was because it was when I first bought the calendar out, they sent me a gift. So I know that there was somebody in Sweden, Netherlands. So if you're listening, I'm going to tell you guys what you need to do. So 4 degrees in their respective signs. Now, in the celestial realm, each degree is a day. So they're actually in the 4th day of the signs that they're in. Pluto will be there for a long time. So Pluto will be in the fourth day, like again in November 29th, it'll still be on the fourth day. Some of the other planets may change because the alignment is going to change. It's going to shift on the 21st. So, in their respective signs, combining their powerful energies into fast moving current. We should say electromagnetic current. The sun is going to be our friend. We're going to have to know how to eat our water with eating more fruits. Got to go to the farm and you got to get the fruits that don't, because you see what's going around with that.
And not to cut you off, but that's what I was going to say. You see how you think it's a coincidence that now they got some,
SHITTING,
yeah,
which
issue.
doesn't make sense because you can't eat.
Mm-hmm.
You can't eat anything. All you can do is drink liquid. And so if you're not eating, there's no number two, only number one. And actually, the parasite, it actually prevents you from eating anything. And I'm telling you, I know that's what I had. I believe it's what, if Big Judah got sick, I believe that's what it could have been. Whoever got sick, it could have been that. However, I still, if I look at bread, I feel like I want to throw up. So there's something in the bread and there's something in the plastic.
Well, again, they poison everything in this world that they have ruled over is poison. So It only makes sense that the food is going to be poison. But does it, this basket, I'm trying to show.
See, and again, that's food too, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying. A basket. We're talking about the barbowl basket of fruit, but it's poison. Don't eat the fruit. I remember that.
Right.
Not Chub Rock. Is it Chub Rock? Don't drink the milk. It's spoiled. But you can't even. I mean, this is the time for a basket. That's why. Not to cut you off, but that's why we're over here speaking about criminal and civil recompense and judgment and justice, which at the end of their rule, there's a basket, there's a bread basket that's in the sky.
Right.
I mean, your daily bread, you can't make this stuff up. Bread is talking. Okay, you can eat your bread, or you can go make your bread, or you can be given your bread, or even bread is synonymous with what?
Money.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because you go make your bread, right? Isn't that a slang that we came up with?
That we use.
Our people? Right. So, and it's funny you said that because now it says powerful energies into a fast moving current. So that current is something that's coming around and going around. So, okay. And then, yes, it's shaped like a basket. If you look at it on the zodiac wheel or the birth chart wheel, is what I prefer to call it, this one won't be filled with fresh CSA produce like lettuce and strawberries. That's a warning that the food. So I tried to tell my visitors, it's not the outside of the fruit. The pesticide went into the dirt and is now inside the fruit because it doesn't. And they tell you, wash it thoroughly. Another thing they warned against is eating medium rare. They said you got to cook your meat well done because they're not sure if it's in the lettuce, the strawberry, or the fake meat that they're selling.
But hold up. Let's slow down for a second. Who's out here eating rare meat? It's these Edomite. It's these heathen.
Right.
The heathen eats rare meat all the time. I never forget. It's a couple months ago, there was this thing all on the tickety-tock and on social media talking about eating rare ground beef. Fools have been. These plagues are plaguing them, mind, body, and spirit. Where those plagues used to plague us, mind, body, and spirit, they're no longer plaguing us, they're plaguing them. This is the criminal justice, karma, the karmatic criminal justice. Now, because they're getting plagued, because these things are happening to them today, now we get to sit back. Because again, if somebody is losing something or not able to control something or hold something, they got to let it go. They got to let it go. So now we're coming into our own as the true children of the Most High, to be able to no longer be jealous of these people, no longer to be envious of these people, no longer to want the same things that these people want. And the Most High is like, okay, it's now time for you all to begin to ask for your wealth back. He couldn't give it to us before because we go back out, we give it back to these fools, we go spend it on something stupid. Now we're going to be good stewards. And that is such a key, to be a good steward, because that's what the Father told us, that what we're to do from the get-go, to have dominion over the earth, over his creation. But you know, when they talk about it, this dominion, they talk about it from the perspective of the theology of dominion. They got dominion, they can do anything, they can kill, steal, destroy anything because they got dominion. No, but that's not, you're supposed to be good stewards. And now we're coming into our own of being good stewards with everything, for everything. And we're having a reason, that there's a proper reason now for us to get the things that it's not, oh, well, I just want to get my kid through school. I just want to, I want to put some money away. I want to go on vacation. See, that's their system.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sis.
No, I mean, no, I'm just in agreement, because I mean, if you've been there and done that, after a while, it's the same thing over and over. Whereas when you're working to serve the Most High and keep the law, statutes, and commandment, number one, in the beginning, you feel like you're coming against Babylon. Well, that is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so we keep our frequency high. So, and I'll get into that, but let me just, so with all the planets in a dynamic fire and air sign.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have fire and air, you're going to get combustion.
Yep.
Because fire feeds off of air, oxygen.
That's right.
So the fires to come right now, this fire, I believe it's hitting, the smoke is hitting all the way to Pennsylvania or something like that, New York,
Mm-hmm.
The one in Canada. There's one in California. And then the floods, 140 sundown towns have been flooded out in the last 24 hours. These are all, in my mind, a criminal recompense.
Right.
But it's not a civil recompense until we call for it.
That's right.
So now this formation could unleash revolutionary forces that reshape art, science, politics, and technology. Well, that's everything.
Mm-hmm.
Art, science, politics. There'll be no more politics, no more politricks, no more politrictions, which for the life of me, I see the two-turd and maybe one or two blassos kind of waking up and saying there's no difference between either party. No, there isn't.
Nope.
Two wings of the same dirty bird.
Yep.
Okay. So all of that's going to change. The groundwork has already been laid. Well, yeah, from the time we came under the covenant, the laws, statutes, and commandments, that was laying the groundwork.
Yep.
Is that what? Ezekiel 37, the valley of the dry bones waking up, is the foundation. We woke up to that madness, and now we have the Most High's face turned toward us again. We asked for the ley lines to be open. Now, Big Levi, he led that one the last time, and he said, we got to open the ley lines. And shortly after that, one after the other, and it's still happening. Planes are dropping out the sky like flies.
Yep.
You cannot deny it, because they have a whole system set up around flying. And the reason they do is to prevent us from flying over certain areas like Antarctica.
Right.
That's why. Okay. It's easier to get to Europe if you go through Russia from the land bridge than if you cross the Atlantic. because you'll be flying over land. You'll have less turbulence, but they choose not to do that because you would see too much. Okay. So now it says the groundwork has already been laid from, and it talks about their new AI gold rush, which is their new, we want to be like God. So we're going to try AI because CERN is not working.
Nope.
To wars raging around the world, to a sweep of, and they call Democrat socialists. So they're calling Mondani a socialist. Who cares?
Right, whatever.
With support from Jupiter in flamboyant Leo, the sign of both royal and magnanimous leaders alike. They are not royal.
No, not
they
even.
They're not magnanimous because we can basically see where they're headed. And this is referring to us. Why? Because I'm going to give you scripture, just a brief little scripture on the angels working with Isaiah. So that's very esoteric / celestial when we start talking the angelic realm. The problem is the majority of people out there, they believe in angels intermittently. Right. They don't believe in all of it. They just believe a little bit.
As long as it benefits them.
Well, and maybe it's because it's all they know. They haven't read the book of Enoch. They're not doing that. So, and then no telling who will step up to carry the load of this basket. Well, that's us. And then it goes into, oh, look at that. I didn't even want to go there at all. Barack Obama, who's Chicago Presidential Library. Listen, I'm seeing it in the spirit, and other people are seeing it in the flesh, in the physical. So I don't need to go there to visit it, because in the spirit, it's all satanic. People don't get that. Oh, how could you say that? That's the first black president. Listen, you think he became president because he's black? No, it's because, what is he, fourth cousin to George Bush?
Right.
He's
in the game. He's in their game.
As soon as they said that, as soon as they brought that out in the news, oh, he's not from Kenya. No, I don't care where he's from. I really don't. Okay. We had a little easement with the cop shooting us in the back under his thing. Unlike, what's his face, Clinton, or this clown.
T. Rumper.
Yeah.
The Rumpster.
So with all the planets in dynamic fire and air sign, this formation could unleash okay, no, I read that. I'm sorry. I'm trying to pull up the last one. This generational alignment will launch a 2-year wave of transformation that will redefine society as we know it. And that is what I'm looking at, the time span, not necessarily clocking the 2-year, but understanding that the effects of the alignment that's happening. I rather call it the alignment that's happening between the 19th and the 21st will last for at least 2 years. With the Most High, it could be longer. Why not? It says the meek shall inherit the earth, not the proud and hoity.
Nope.
Not the heathens, not those who are keeping the pagan holidays. No, the meek, the humble under the covenant, not the humble because they're just humble.
Right.
You got to be under the Most High. So, so here's how everything happened for me in the spirit, and I got confirmation through Big Judah, and then Brother Leon this morning. So I was watching Big Levi's Esau video on Friday, and he was showing the accident where there was a lawyer's office and then there was a financial advisor office next door. So he was looking for the ley line by trying to find a church. as he panned around, I saw Bank of America and Wells Fargo. And I saw both of them and I kind of rolled my eyes up. I was like, please, they're so crooked. Let me tell you how crooked Wells Fargo is. They sent me 4 checks, 75, 275, 435, and I think $82. And every check I called and they were like, oh, that was back when you were a client, a customer, and we charged you for some insurance that I never signed up for. Right. And then they sent me a check from my dad because he had an account there. So I called again. Just anytime you get a check that you're not expecting, just call who sent it to you and just double check. That way you have for your records. Because once you say, okay, I'm cashing it, that contract is solidified. It's verbal, but it's solidified. Right. So they sent one for my dad and I called again. And then next thing you know, they sent a letter from my dad's account. This is all we're sending. Basically it was don't expect anymore, but it was in their professional words. And I'm like, whatever. So I saw that Friday gone in, and I rolled up my eyes and I thought about that crookedness, and Bank of America even more crooked. And then the next day I saw Big Judah's video, and he was talking about judgment, and he was reading, I think he was reading from the book of Enoch, and he was talking about the judgment. And then I kind of got up and with Big Levi, he found the cemetery and he said, oh, that's where the ley line is. So I got up and went in the kitchen at that point, and I'm thinking ley lines. Okay, ley lines, like that's in my brain. That's all that's in my brain, not even the banks. And then Big Judah said judgment. And after that, I was like, we've been asking for criminal judgment, but I studied law. There's 2 judgments. There's civil. We haven't asked for civil. So then I reached out to you, and when I was telling you, you got real quiet, and I'm like, hello, are you there? And you're like, yeah, I'm trying to process this, because basically he was over in a corner without my knowledge trying to figure out how to begin the wealth transfer.
Yep. Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, well, I guess I have some confirmation, but it wasn't solid confirmation until I woke up at like 4:00 Tuesday morning, and I saw Big Judah's video, and I read the title, and I said, did Brother Moriel discuss this with Big Judah? Right. So then Big Judah opens, and then I typed in the comment, all praise to the Most High, Ahaya Asher Ahaya. This gives me confirmation that this is correct. That's what I typed in his comment section. Sorry, not the chat, the comment section. And so I was like, okay, that's confirmation. And then this morning early, Brother Leon calls me. Number one, he's in his Brucker loop now because he received a huge amount of profits from his company. Huge. I mean, huge, like put a K in a couple of numbers. Right. So he's now, and I asked him, have you been on the calendar? He said, yes. I said, from when? He said, from you introduced it. So basically it's took him a year and a half to get into his Brucker loop. Whereas the last testimony I had where the sister paid off the car note, it may be earlier for her because I didn't really ask her a lot of questions. I just asked around that, not to get information, just understanding. So when he called me and told me that this morning, he said, I'm calling also because I need to know what to say, because he's right in front of the Bank of Canada. And I said, I didn't have everything prepared. I said, well, so you can write this down. I'll say it twice. I said, you could definitely read Psalms 118, 25 to 29. Psalms 118, 25 to 29. I will go through it. But so today, Big Judah is reading Habakkuk. And I've always remembered 2 verse 2, which is write the vision and make it clear. So to make a vision clear, you have to use the Most High's words. You cannot use your own words. Your own words indicate your own motives. Thank you for putting right. Psalms 118. So You got to use your own, you got to use the Most High's word. So, for example, I would write, and I said to Brother Moriel, I'm going to try to write a prayer, and it's going to have Hebrew words in it, like abracadabra, I create as I speak, things like that. Even the new word we learned today, which is salak, which it means to not just move forward, but to have the Most High move you forward and up. And that's two different directions that we didn't even consider. You can level up, but are you moving forward? I don't know. You could level up with a promotion so you can buy more junk from Babylon, so you can go to games and concerts. You've leveled up financially, but not spiritually, so you're not moving forward. Right. You can also move forward, but not level up.
That's right.
So the dynamic is to have both. Now, that is what we would call a double bracha.
That's right.
And so with the 13 solar lunar cycle that we're under in the biblical calendar, we're going to see some double bracha. The best bracha you can get is the wisdom.
Yep.
Solomon asked for wisdom. The Most High gave him everything else.
Yep.
Right. So Habakkuk, you got to write your vision. You got to make it plain. So part of that is going to be Psalms 118, 25
through 29.
Through 29. And I'm going to read that right now. That is the powerhouse Psalms that I use when they talk about opening the gates. And actually, 19, verse 19 says, open to me the gates of righteousness and I will go through them. So I would even include 19 through 20 and then jump down. Say now, this is verse 25. Say now, I pray, O Most High. I pray, send now prosperity. Baruch is he who comes in the name of the Most High. I would then repeat Ahaya, Ashar, Ahaya. Because that's the great I am that I am. And in the abracadabra world, it's the I am that accomplishes things.
That's right.
Through Yahweh, the unborn one. We have Baruch you from the house of, and call out your house. What other house are you going to call out? Right? The house of the Most High, absolutely. But even your house.
No. The house of your last name.
Right. Baruch Hashem, and then your last name. Bless the name of. And then it goes on, and he has given us life. Bind the sacrifice with the cords to the horns of the altar. You are my Most High, and I will praise you. You are my Most High, and I will exalt you. Now, when you say open the gates of righteousness, and I will go through them, and then you say send now prosperity, prosperity is your civil recompense. It's not your criminal recompense.
Right.
Okay, so
and let me just say this, just so people can understand it. This is what I was saying the other night to Judah. I use OJ. OJ went through criminal. If the glove don't fit, you gotta quit.
Right.
Then they took him to civil court and took all his money.
Well, they couldn't get his NFL pension because.
Well, they took the rest of his money. They didn't take all.
Yeah, but he didn't have much left because Cochran and Kardashian took all. Listen, you got to understand. Like for example, Trump is not just going broke because he's paying the fines to Gene and whoever. He's going broke for the attorney fees.
Right.
These attorney fees, we're talking more than millions of dollars when it's high profile. Okay, so if it's medium profile, it could go up to 100,000. I've worked with high profile. I've seen the bills, over $100 million to work on a case for 3 years in a row for a huge electric company. So they're paying attorney fees. That stuff is eating them out. And it's one case after the other. Giuliani is so bogged down with attorney fees. He's basically in some little apartment.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's alive in a wheelchair. Mitch McConnell, his heart has probably stopped, but his brain is probably not dead yet. So they got him on life support. He's not moving. He's dead, basically, but they don't want to pull the plug. And I'm going to say this since you brought it up. Ooh, it upset me because remember I said, we'll be working a job and they'll be like, oh, here's this new person, train them. And the next thing you know, they're your boss or, they've replaced you.
Right.
And so what did they do with this South Carolina senator?
Yep.
They
brought in his sister.
The sister. Listen, the person that should be replacing him is the person that was handing him all the documents he had to sign. I'm not talking the typist secretary. I'm talking the assistant.
Right.
That's the person who knows what was on his desk.
Right.
And can just go forward and pick up the ball and hit a home run based on whatever agenda he had.
But this is an unjust weight. This is an unjust weight.
And the sister has no legal experience. It's not even like she's an attorney that understands you're going into the law of the House of Congress.
They just using her to get what they want here at the end.
And that's a false weight.
And that's a false weight. That's why they are falling, and they're falling fast. And as they're falling fast and falling, they're trying to grab onto all the wealth that they can. And the Father's going to make all their wealth. They can't eat their wealth, so they're going to expire without anything. That's why it's now our turn to ask for our sustenance.
Our civil justice. And our civil justice, it's going to begin with, oh man, our civil justice. I mean, we could go as far back as the Spanish, and we could go further back. We could go from 70 AD. We could go from when they sacked the temple of the Most High that had all the glory that Solomon put in there.
We're gonna go as far back as
I'm just saying though.
Most High brings remembrance back to us.
Well, he just brought the remembrance back to me with the temple Solomon built.
Yeah. I mean, it's so much. It's just like here in Charlotte. Charlotte, the whole reason that there is called a Charlotte or the Queen Charlotte, whatever.
Queen Charlotte from UK
is because they found gold in Charlotte. The city sits on top of a gold mine, which they've stripped and taken and got all the gold out. But there's a gold mine underneath Charlotte. And right in the center square, Tryon and Tryon and Trade, it is where if you dug a hole straight down, you're in the center of the mine. So, and I'll show pictures of it later on, Most High willing, but it is amazing to understand how much they've taken from our land, how much they've taken from us. That's why the Most High said, you all are rich. I know the blasphemy of these heathens, but you are rich. So we're rich in spirit and soon to be rich in resources again. And that's what this is all about. This is why the civil recompense, as you say, civil justice is now here on its way, and it's going to stay. And these people can't do anything about it.
They can't do anything about the floods.
Nope.
They can't stop the fires. What's their technology for the fire? What does Big Levi say? A bucket of water.
A bucket of water
on a helicopter. That's their grand technology for Maui being burnt to a crisp, Palisades being burnt to a crisp, Altadena being burnt to a crisp. These towns don't exist. And when I say they don't exist, not even the grocery stores, nothing, no library, no school. So what's their technology? A bucket of water and a shovel?
Madness.
Right. So, if you look at the fact that this alignment that's at its peak between the 19th and the 21st. So basically the 7 days. All right, I'm sorry, I'm skipping ahead. So we need civil justice for the ancestors' free labor on this land.
Right.
We need civil justice for the stolen value of the land.
Mm-hmm.
We're needing the value of things for civil justice. So it's not just we want the land back. How long has the land been occupied? How much assets did we lose not having control over our land because we fell under the curses following the Roman Catholic Church and insanity Christianity?
Mm-hmm.
We fell under the curses. We know that's our fault. We're out of it now. We have the right to ask for the recompense for the free labor of the ancestors. The cost and the value of the land, they've held it for, we'll just say 400 years. And we're going to say 400 years so we can link in Genesis 15, verse 13 through 14.
That's right.
If you link that in and you put that in the prayer, and that's why, I'm going to write it. And it's not hard because I'm writing it from the word. It's not like I'm sitting there trying to think, oh, what should we say?
Right.
So,
and don't forget usury. So the usury on top of all of that.
Okay, thank you. The Uniform Commercial Code, the usury law. That's one. And I tried to tell someone this. One of the ways you can get that mortgage expunged is under the usury law. And we talked about how the mortgage works, right, Brother Moriel?
Yep.
So the mortgage is a complete ripoff because I'm going to keep the numbers simple. You get a house for $100,000. At the end of 30 years, you've paid off $300,000. Now, if somebody lends you money, they're not to charge you interest. It says, the scripture says, never a borrower or a lender be. Number one, you lend friends money, you won't be talking to them when they don't pay you back. So you've killed that friendship, but that's a good thing to know.
Right.
But the banks, they're allowed to make the 100,000 back. And at most, another 100K for their profit. So that would only be 200,000.
Yep.
So instead of you paying 3,000 a month, you pay 2,000 a month. But they're getting 200% back return. No. You get 100% back when you get all of your money back from the person you lend it to, and then your profit. Now, they have a right in a way to earn a profit if they want to lend out more money. They do, because how are they going to lend out more money when they lend you 100,000? What are they going to? Right. However, here's another way the banks rob you. You put $1,000 in, and you get a 5% return for the entire year. So that's $50, right? Something like that.
Right.
But you put $1,000 in, and they lend out $100 to 10 people at 25%. So they're getting basically $25 back for every 100. Now, if they gave us even 40% of that as an interest for using our money so they could make money, that would be okay. But no, they give us pennies, not even on the dollar, pennies on the nickel.
Well, true.
So that's unjust weight. Yeah, that's a false weight too. So the mortgage is a scam. Now the mortgage, the reason it goes like that is because they came up with a scam to amortize it. What that basically means is every month you start paying, all your money goes to interest in the beginning. You pay $1,000 in mortgage, $50 goes to the principal, and $950 goes to the interest. That's not righteous.
No,
that's not righteous at all. And then by the time you get to 30 years and you pay $1,000, $950 goes to the principal and $50 goes to the interest.
Right.
So you're paying all this interest. Okay. So for those who desire to have their tabernacle to worship the Most High, when you're going around your bank in particular, you must do your bank, and then you got to do the big ones, and you got to do any one that you banked with that you can do within your vicinity. And you should ask for the usury that they did with the mortgage,
Right.
the savings, and the usury they did with the value of the land that they've held on to. We're going to just say for 400 years, so we can link it to, again, Genesis 50. I'm going to put that in the prayer too. It's not going to be long. It's going to be very succinct, but it's just going to be what we could possibly do on the last day. I'm sure Big Judah will be happy to upload it, but before he does, I ask that he reads it and make sure that it sits well with him. None of us should take each other's word. So that's why if I use scripture, nobody has a problem. But if I write what I want to say, okay, that's not good. So, and then, so Habakkuk says, write the vision, make it plain. I would open with that. Your word says in, 2 through 4, write the vision, make it plain.
Right.
If we look at just quickly Isaiah chapter 6, because what I want to do is I want to link in the fact that these angels exist, because the angels are the ones that's going to help us. Right? The Most High. Most High, right? He hasn't assigned a specific angel over Yasharal except for Michael to conduct war for Yasharal. That's about it. The Most High is over us. The covenant is between us and the Most High. It's not between us and the angels.
Yep.
Okay? So we have to understand that the angels are here for our use. And so if we understand that the Most High says, for example, in Isaiah chapter 6, verse 2, above it stood seraphim. Each one had 6 wings. With 2 he covered his face, with 2 he covered his feet, and with 2 he flew. And one cried to the other and said, Kadosh, 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 holy, holy, holy is the Most High of hosts. That would be Sabaoth. The whole earth is full of its glory. And then in verse 6, then one of the seraphim flew to me, having in his hand a live coal, which he had taken with thongs from the altar. And he touched my mouth with it and said, behold, this has touched your lips. Your iniquity is taken away and your sin is purged. So while we're under the barbell basket with the fire sign, we should also ask the Most High to purge from us any other, nostalgic reference to Babylon.
Right. Any connection for us to come up out of her completely, be done with it. But yes, go ahead, sis.
No, I mean, I would want you to continue on that path because you got to think about it. This is something that's, when it peaks and goes away, the effects will still continue.
Right.
So what we ask for between now and, when it peaks, the 19th through the 21st, one of the things we really have to ask for is that he purges out of us any leftover residue of Babylon. I'm going to ask for that because I need that. I need to stand fast. I need to continue. I started, and this is very important. I started saying shalom to people that's not in the nation, not as a greeting, but as a goodbye. Like I text the guy. So the guy came, the one that cleared the land, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he came for his last, payment. And I text him and I said, you can come today between whatever. And then I said, shalom. It happened naturally. It wasn't like I planned it. And then I thought about it. And I was like, oh, I said shalom to him. And then I said, so what? This is a sign that will show what you said about Revelation 2:9 and 3:9. I know those who think they are rich. I know those who say they are Jews That's them fake Jews over there, and are
It's all of
not,
them.
and
Hmm.
are not. We don't say we're Jews. We say we're Yasharal.
Right.
Okay. So chapter 6 shows us that there are angels, angels to fulfill the work of the Most High, angels to help us cleanse ourselves.
Hmm.
So if we could maybe do some type of cleansing as we go out to ask for the civil recompense.
Right.
Okay, so we talked about the mortgage, the civil recompense for the ancestors' free labor. We talked about the false weight with the savings account, the credit union. If we got somebody in San Francisco, the TransUnion building, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Yeah. Yeah.
because we either need for our stuff to be removed from the books or we are removed from the books. Either one. I'll take either one.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. These are powerful. I want to get into one thing before I forget.
Hmm.
So the tourist attractions, Statue of Liberty, Empire State Building,
Hmm. Hmm.
Space Needle in what is that? Seattle, Washington,
Yep.
Golden Gate Bridge, whatever. These are energy centers where they pull your energy from you.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
That's why we're not to go to stadiums and concerts.
Mm.
Massive energy centers, and they pull it. And if anybody's ever been to a concert back in the day, you know that when you leave, you're exhausted.
Oh yeah.
Even if you didn't do a lot of dancing, you're exhausted. The crowd, the noise, it's just no. And then there are energy centers where we can connect to,
Hmm.
like these big banks. Now, let me give a quick disclaimer. Please don't drive into the bank parking lot, pull over, and start eating your lunch. They got cameras, okay? And you're black. You're driving while black. So you got to remember that. Don't drive to them at night. Even though I read the scripture about midnight and I was like, dag. And I said, nah, not doing it, okay? But what you can do is if you can circle the bank, and you can do that, you can drive into the bank. If it's your bank, you could pull up to the ATM, act like you're getting your balance. Even if you get it, don't look at the balance. You're not doing that. What you're doing is you want to be on the site when you're getting, so you know how you can go into a bank one way and come out the opposite?
Yep.
When you get to the opposite way, don't rush to get into traffic. Pull over to the side. Act like you're doing something. Put your phone where it's visible. So anybody driving by thinks you've pulled over to take a text or a phone call. And on your screen, have what you want to say. You got to go out there and you got to work from the heart with clean motives to the Most High. So again, you could start with the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. You're at a bank. Where do they store up the wealth? And let me tell you, they've got gold, silver. And again, I don't want to sound like I'm telling people to go out there and nobody's going to do anything illegal. But think
Right.
about the safety deposit box. What's in there? Think about the deeds of registrar's office that have
The
all
land, the titles, and
titles.
that goes not to cut you off, but that goes back to what Judah was saying in terms of the neighborhoods. See, everything is stemming from them cutting us off from our heritage, which our heritage is land. So the land produces the gold, the silver, right? It produces
Correct. The
the
land
use.
contains the resources.
That's right. So we can, when we're dealing with the banks and the financial industry and the financial buildings, all of them. So you got that. You've got the neighborhoods. You've got businesses. You've got just the ley line itself. As you're
Can I just
driving.
interject real quick? Because you just brought something to mind. So, anybody out there in the nation, it has to be a righteous business, okay? Not some, whatever.
Not past the pig's feet
Right,
barbecue.
right. And not no nightclub.
Right,
Okay.
right,
You could do
right.
a restaurant, you could do a natural hair salon, whatever. You could drive around the business or the location of the area because the ley lines are all connected, like Big Judah said. You could look
Hmm.
at the map to know where the specific energy points are. You got energy points, and then you have ley lines that come out from the energy points. The energy
Hmm.
points are those circular solid dots you see. And then the lines that are coming out are the ley lines, and it's LEY for ley
Right.
lines, just so everybody knows. And so you could pull up that map and, look in your area. But we've
Hmm.
done that. And we did it asking for the judgment to be brought up on
Right.
the nation. We
That's the
did
key.
it, what? It was like 2021 ish. And then
Hmm.
all of a sudden, and one of the things Big Levi did call for was that aviation would be shut down.
Hmm.
And to this
And
day, the planes are still
but
dropping out the sky. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and now we're calling for the wealth redistribution, the resource redistribution. And where we, again, when we started, we wanted, and we still do, the judgment of the nations. We want Genesis 15:13, but we also want 14. See, the world wants us to debate 13 forever so that we can be distracted from 14. They don't want us dealing with the ramifications of the wealth. Remember, I guess right before our new year, as a matter of fact, it was our new year this year, we were talking about the silver tsunami. Well, the boomers can't afford to give their kids any money. They can't afford to let them live in these houses. They got to sell these things so they can continue to make money. They make money, money, money. But yet the wealth is not in the money, the cash, it's in the land. And what's the Father doing? Washing the land, clearing the land for us. So we, this land, like for me, I can go out into towards the mountains and there's all this land. Why can't I have that? Why can't we have that back? See, it's not just about the gold, the silver, the money. It's about this land. So that's the redistribution because they've made all their money off of our land. Once we get our land back, once we ask our Elohim to grant our resources, our sustenance back, then we'll get everything else that comes with it. That goes to your point, what you said about Solomon. Solomon said, I want wisdom, and he got everything. So of course, we've asked for wisdom, and we're gaining wisdom. We're gaining a lot. Matter of fact, we have gained so much that it has been almost astronomical. But now we get to gain it and our land. That's why he said, I will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and there I will judge them for what they did to my people. That's one case
Mm-hmm.
against them. What they did to my inheritance, and he called them out, Yasharel,
Mm-hmm.
that's another, and for parting my land, that's the third. So all of that is the wealth of Yasharel. And this is what their dilemma is today, mentally and physically. See, this is all psychological because they want us not to remember what they did. And a lot of it is coming over and land grabbing and just stealing and theft of land. And then they built their civilization. So now we're saying, hey, we know that the Father is judging you and moving you out of the way. But now we want the land that's left once you leave. And we're going to take that land and we're going to dedicate it back to our Elohim so that it then can produce righteously. And then we can be found as its fruits and gain good first fruits from it. We can't even gain that now because they done pesticided it up and fools is pooping.
And then they took away all the female trees.
That's right.
So you can't. Okay, like in the islands, like Jamaica, there's
Mm-hmm.
so much female trees that You got fruit trees growing on the street. That's why I say Jamaica is poor, but nobody's hungry.
Right.
Not a single person is hungry, and nobody's freezing cold because there's no winter.
Mm-hmm.
So when we look at the land here, there's no female trees. They took that away. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what just came to mind is in Revelation when the Most High says, don't hurt a third of the trees. Those are probably the female trees.
Right.
Because we've got the earth. So everybody thinks, they're going to go to heaven. The new kingdom is up there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they're thinking. Up there where? There's a firmament, and above the firmament is water. So I don't, he divided the water with the firmament. So I don't know what they think. And above the water are the heavens, but the Most High's footstool is on earth.
Right.
And we're the ones that get to worship at the footstool. And the strangers, they got to fall in line and do what we say. Because the Most High is going to tell us he don't want to deal with them.
Right.
He can't deal with them. That's not his job. Our job is to deal with them so they could work for us.
Well, because they got to be in order, right?
Right,
right. In order.
So they're going to work for us. So the point is, part of that is that civil judgment that we're asking for. And so if we look at Isaiah 8, verse 1, it's in the Hebrew, Meher Shalal Hashbaz. And what that basically means is speed the spoil, hasten the bounty.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The spoil is everything they stole from us.
That's right.
The spoil is the civil recompense.
That's right.
So that definitely you want the Hebrew language. Take your time to understand how to pronounce Hebrew. Take the first two letters. If it's ba and you see ma, then it's ma.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that works. So it's ma, her, Her, Shalal, Hash, Baz. And again, speed the spoil, hasten the bounty. The bounty is what they stole from us. The spoils is what they was able to obtain after they stole our bounty.
Right. Right. And we want the spoils and our resources.
And all of it. Why? Because they're not going to be in control anymore.
Well, because because we have to bring it's like the animals, right? The animals are turning against them, right? Because they don't even like their masters. You got the buffalo jacking that white dude up. You got the dogs burning down the houses. You got everything happening with them and their animals right now. Now, why do you think that is? It's because they haven't been good stewards to their animals. They're doing too much and not enough. But when we come back into rulership, what does the Father say? Oh, the lion's going to sleep with the sheep. They're going to eat grass. They're going to eat grains, just like we always did. It wasn't until we came up against the heathen, and they call it, and this is their history. Oh, the hunter-gatherers. Well, we weren't out here hunting the animals to kill them and eat them. We were growing grains. That's who the Yasharel is. We are the growers of grain. We are the sustainers of life. And these people out here who have been murdering, killing, and eating everything, they're the ones that now got to get moved out of the way. That's why we've asked for the criminal justice, the criminal recompense to come upon them and bring them to the tail.
And it's coming. We see that. We see that with the amount of deaths that has occurred, even in just one weather event. Again, we only got France's number. 1,200 died in one day.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get Spain. Right. We didn't get Spain's number. We didn't get Great Britain. And they're dropping like flies over there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all criminal when death is involved.
Right.
When destruction is involved, it's criminal.
Right.
But civil, You know, that's the next thing. And the fact of the matter is this. First of all, the words that I read to you in Hebrew, that's actually in my Bible in Isaiah. It's written that way. So the Most High, I ask, and I know again, people might say, well, that's impossible, because my younger sister said it. Close your Bible, put it on a sacred place near the menorah, and pray to the Most High to change the words on the page, because I did that for almost 7 years. And then he didn't change the words per se. I don't know. I can't say that. Here's what I do know. My eyes started opening up, and I'm like, hold up. Does that say Ahaya, Ashar, Ahaya? I didn't know that was in here. Now I'm looking at Meher Shalal Hashbaz. And it's written 1, 2, 3 times. Then it says, right after he says, speed the spoil, hasten the bounty, and I will take for myself a faithful witness to record. There's a comma, which we didn't use commas. Then he goes into Uriah the priest and Zechariah the son. Now, here's the thing. Right where it says, and I will take for myself a faithful witness to record, you can stop and turn to the Most High and say, Abba Yah, let me be a faithful witness. That's how you're to pray. Let me be a faithful witness for this civil justice recompense.
That's right. Yep. Because we have to witness it and judge it. And you know, a lot of these nations out here are going to be struggling because they're not going to be able to deal with us witnessing it, because they like to do everything, you know, underhandedly in the dark and behind closed doors. Well, nothing can be hidden anymore. So everything is on the up and up. Once it's done, everyone gets to see it and we get to judge it. That's why they came out with that, oh, well, only God can judge me. Well, here we are.
And listen, if people don't think that the Most High is judging the earth, all I can say is this: famine, fires, floods, plague. Gee, that sounds like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse been riding for quite a while. So therefore, there's no rapture before tribulation. There's tribulation, and then the meek inherits the earth. That means the wicked is taken out. So if there is a rapture, it's the wicked going to hell. That's the
going
only,
to the left side of Sheol.
Well, Hades. That's the only rapture that the scripture talks about. It says it's going to take the tears and burn them.
Yep.
And they will be burnt like driftwood.
That's true.
Right.
That's
so
true.
They're going to Hades because Hades will burn you. Okay. And we're now in the season of the fire signs with these 4. Now, these 4 major planets. Before I do the 4 major planets, I want to read this to you. This is from whoever I screenshot it. Anyone else stuck in this weird cycle where work is so exhausting that your hobbies feel like too much work, so you don't do them, then you go back to work upset that you didn't take the time to do the things you like, and rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. So as you can see, people are in the curse cycle. She just said, do you feel stuck in a weird cycle? I'm in a Brucka cycle.
I feel great.
I only have the Most High to rely on, which is wonderful. Don't get me wrong. Okay. But there's a reason for that. When you only have the Most High and no one else, it's because he's got work for you. He does. If you're a mother with children, the Most High is not going to stress you with work. You got young children. That's not going to be fair. If you have to work a job and go out to Babylon, the Most High is not going to stress you with a lot. That's not fair because he knows you got to go and maintain. But you know, when you are able to be retired and whatever you have, you put it toward the Most High, He's going to take care of you. I
Mm-hmm.
needed the land cleared. I didn't know where I was going to get the money from. And blam, I got the money. The land is cleared. That's a bruckaloop. This person is in a weird cycle. I wouldn't call what happened to me a weird cycle.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't call what happened to Brother Leon last week a weird cycle. He said, I think I'm in my bruckaloop. And he explained it. And I said, absolutely.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, knowledge is increasing, and if knowledge is increasing, see, this is just the common sense of everything. If knowledge is increasing and knowledge is power, whomever is gaining knowledge has what? Wisdom, which is power. Whilst everybody else is out here not caring about knowledge, they're still trying to deal with. It's like we were saying earlier. You got now these heathens talking about the law, and it's like it's too late. You don't got enough time to reconcile and deal with the law in its proper state. You don't have enough time. We've surpassed you. We've dealt with the law. The law is ours. It's on us, hence why you're supposed to cleave to the lawful. You've been the lawless. Your entire existence has been based on, oh, I don't want to deal with the laws. I don't got to deal with the laws. Now here at the end, when shit is literally hitting the fan, now you want to deal with the law. It doesn't work that way. This is why everything has come to a head, or rather, I'll say it like this. This is why everything has gone to the head. What has gone to the head? Knowledge, power, wisdom, understanding. That's why you can have people still come in comment sections talking madness about Christian sanity, as if any of that holds any weight. This is why they don't understand that judgment is here and they can't deal with their own fate. While we're sitting here going, hey, times are great. I'm over here enjoying this. Hey, Sister Roman, how you doing? I'm good. Hey,
Yeah.
brother Sly, how you doing? Good. I don't hear. Now, I do have people that say they're going through something. And the first thing I have to question is, what are you doing or not doing? Because at this stage in the game, the Father is opening up the minds and hearts of his people. We are now on the precipice. It's like I was saying to Leon earlier. I call Barbolt's gate. This is how I just see it. I don't see it as the event, as a basket. I see it as a gate,
a celestial gate.
That's right.
Correct.
And we walked. The gate is opened. Is it a coincidence that it opens at this time when we're awake, when we're looking for the next phase? No. So the gate opens. We've been in alignment. We've been looking at the alignments of the stars, the alignments of the celestial since 2017. We've been dealing with it with the astronomy and astrology since 2020. Now this gate opens. We're in alignment. We're in order.
Oh my God.
We get to walk through it, and this gate will close. And once it closes, if you're not on that, and that goes to scarcely get in, right? And all will be saved, because all of Yasharel will get through this gate. And then, like, some of us got through the gate first, and we're like, yo, what is this? What do we do now? And the Father's like, now it's time to gain your wealth. Now it's time to gain your sustenance, your substance, your resources. So we came into the gate and we're like, oh, you know what? Now we can ask for, because the Father's just. So as they're falling, we've got to rise up. So if we ask for it, we get to have it. And knowing that we're not going to use it to go shoot, he's going to wash all the Lamborghini, Mercedes, all the Beamer, all those manufacturings are going to be gone. So we're going to be rebuilding, and people go, well, the heathen going to be rebuilding. Well, the Gentiles, those that cleave, sure, but we also but we also get to rebuild too. Like I want to rebuild the proper way. I'm not going to. I'm not going to
We
let.
are going to be in charge of the design process.
Correct. I'm not going to let the cleavers build
What
my
they want.
right. No, that's not how this is
No.
going to work.
Oh,
No,
hell no. Sorry.
but no, you're right, and that's what I'm saying. So we're now at a point where we're going through this gate, and the gate has been open for quite some time. See, this is what people don't understand. When we
Uh-huh.
start seeing the celestial, it's already open. It's open now.
Correct. The moment we recognize that there were celestial gates because of our ancestor Enoch,
Right.
boom.
It's open. So when they go, oh, it closes on the 22nd. No, it don't. It closes when the Most High has saved all of Yasharel. This is what they don't understand, because they don't want anyone to recognize that this has always been about us. That's why they don't, who's been asking for judgment? Has the Christian, has the Muslim, has the Buddhist, has the Hindu, has the atheist,
No.
has the heathen? No. What the hell do they need justice for? They've gotten everything. Who needs justice? Our ancestors.
Who's the largest landowner?
The church.
The church, the Vatican. All stolen land. All stolen, except
Right.
maybe that little city in Vatican City. Okay, if they want Rome, they could have that mess. Or the Caucasus Mountains. They all came out of the Caucasus Mountains.
Right.
They got to go back to the mountains so the rocks can fall on them, because that's what's happening in the last days.
Well, as we get gathered to our kingdom, they also get gathered back to everybody comes back to remembrance of who they are. They don't want to remember who they are because they've had it real good. I wouldn't either. If I was them, I'd be like, yo, I don't know what you're talking about. But that doesn't stop the judgment on the criminal side, nor will it stop the judgment on the civil side. See, civil judgment or civil recompense must come because they have created an uncivil civilization. So everything has to be put into balance. That's why when we go out going forward and we start meditating, praying, and talking to the Father, to our Elohim on places, and imagine, before I say that, imagine us going to our mounds and having these conversations. Imagine the power that we will unleash on our mounds, just going to them. We ain't got to even go to anything else. But nevertheless, we go to these places on our land, and the land helps the woman. The earth helps the woman. This is why the world right now is topsy-turvy. This is why they got problems. They're like, oh, well, I don't feel good. I'm sick. I'm
in a weird cycle. I mean, does anybody feel like they're in a weird cycle?
Right.
No.
It's because the earth is not helping them. This is about pure frequency and vibration. This is 5D. What is 5D? 5D is we get to see them, see their spirit, listen to them, smell them, and touch them. This is the dimensions that we're in now.
And they even got the dimensions wrong. So we know 3D is the physical dimension.
Correct.
Well, the fourth dimension would be mental, dream state, whatever. Right. And the fifth dimension is going to be something higher than that, spiritual. Does it keep going? I'm sure it does.
It does.
Why? Because if we inherit the earth for eternity, then we got steps on the ladders to climb.
But or
you know what I mean?
I do. And moreover, to your point, the 3 dimension to the 4th dimension to the 5 dimension to the 6th dimension to the 7th dimension are all one. It's a culmination or a cumulative awakening of dimension of understanding. The world does not have the understanding because they can't absorb it. It's just like the sun. They can't absorb, many of these people can't absorb things. And it doesn't really matter your color per se. It's how you were built. If the Father built you to be able to absorb the XY amount of information, that's all you can get. If he can give you X, Y, and Z, that's what you get. And some can go from A to Z. Some can go from to infinity. But the earth, the world, I shouldn't say the earth, the people who rule the earth, because they can only deal in 3D, they couldn't allow anyone else to be in any other dimension unless they were doing drugs, unless they were in vice. And
Right.
really, it goes back to drugs. If you were in drugs, some sort of salacious madness of mentality, LSD, heroin,
Pharmaceutical.
yeah, then you are allowed to be in it because they can control it. But
I
the
mean,
moment
they give you Percocet, which is a form of heroin. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly.
Doracet, Loracet, Percocet. These are all forms of heroin in a pill that they've legalized, that they call it illegal on the street in the powder form.
But they do that so that they can keep everybody in a low vibration, a low frequency.
Absolutely.
And now that we're no longer doing all this illicit drugs and all this other madness and dealing with vice and compounding our mindset and our bodies and our spirit with degeneration of recessionisms, now we get to grow. We're the ones that are growing. That's why it's important for us now to realize that there are two, like, again, we've taken the world to the courts of the Most High. The Most High is like, okay, criminal court in session. What did you do? You're being judged for this. And they're going, no, I wasn't me. And he's going, you're being judged. Now, majority of the criminals, the criminal cases are already in motion. Now he's changed his focus and said, now it's time for civil. And we're using civil loosely because that's just a connection that we have here on this earth.
Right.
But now he's saying, but
there is the recompense that you read in the beginning, coming
correct.
out the gold, the silver, and the fabrics.
And that's what I'm saying. So we're saying civil because that's what we're connecting it to, but it's just called recompense.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Recompense. So now he's looking at recompense from a material perspective, where before he was looking at recompense from a spiritual judgment, a mental judgment perspective. Now combined, it's the commencement of time. It's the end of a rule. It's the end of an age.
And we see it. We can see it. And
right.
we can see it early in the stage, midway through the stage, or wherever we are in the stage. We see it happening. I just don't like to call out what stage we're in. That's, the most high.
I'm not calling it.
Not you. I'm just saying for me.
Right.
I don't want to say specifically, we're at the beginning, and then I would shut down. And then everybody thinks we're at the beginning. No, we could be at the beginning of the middle of the middle. You know what I'm saying? The most high,
I do.
Right.
I do.
So the fact of that matter is this: because we don't have the exact timing, and only the Most High has the timing, as Messiah has said, our job is to develop the highest frequency, worshiping the Most High. He wanted us to come out of Egypt, to go into the wilderness, like you said in the beginning, to worship him in truth and in spirit and in regal royalty. He does not want us coming dirty to him, filthy. We didn't shower. We're not clean. He don't want us with the raggedy sandals on. He said, and great raiment. Raiment is fabrics. So he wants us to be, because we are the royal house of Yehuda, the royal house of Judah. That's how we're described. So as we go through, so like with the barbell basket, for example, we got 4 planets aligned at 4 degrees in 4 different houses. And what do we get? We get the 12 tribes.
Right.
It could be a sign that the 12 tribes are awakened or have been, or are being gathered. I'm not going to say we have been gathered. I can't call that. But it could be that all 12 tribes have been awakened. And so that means things are going to amp up even more. Remember, no matter how you see like the 7.5 earthquake, you can still get an 8.9.
That's right.
And then what we saw, that double earthquake, right? Which was in
Venezuela, right?
Yeah, it was in the season of the 4th full moon, which is summer, which is a double curse gate. And we saw 2 back-to-back earthquakes, right? So we understand these gates. Now we're looking at 4 planets. All of them are stationed at 4 degrees, but in 4 different houses. And the 4 houses, 2 are fire and 2 are air. So the Most High, I mean, let's see what happens with these fires.
I mean, everything is, grow. I mean, we're going to see right now, you know, and I was looking at this person, Tammy E. Martin, and she was putting up these dimensions. And what was coming to me, because I don't know, but anyway, what was coming to me spiritually is this is where we are. We're gaining all these dimensions at once, while everybody else is trying to figure out how to get it one after another. Like the heathens look at life linear. Oh, A has to happen, then B has to happen, then C has to happen. And when when B happens, A is gone. When C happens, B is gone. No, it's everything, everywhere, all at once. So from 1 to 10.
Isn't that the Most High? Isn't it everything, everywhere, all the time? Blam. That's your singularity.
And that's why the dimensions that we're talking about are spiritual. Right. We're not looking at it from the perspective of the physical. We have to physically see it no, we already physically see it in the spiritual, because we are physical Yasharel, which nobody wants to acknowledge or deal with but us, and we're okay with that. Because for them to understand that, they have to have dealt with Yasharel. They have to deal with Yasharel righteously, which is why people got to cleave. And if people can't cleave, then that's not our problem. We're not stopping to help people recognize where they need to be. We are spiritually moving. What's the word?
Forward. Salak.
Salak, right.
Salak.
We are moving in a situation that is up and forward. We're moving up and forward, while the whole world and other people are trying to stay stagnant, move backwards,
or they want they want to go back.
They either stagnant, moving backwards through nostalgia, or they're going down and back, down and forward. And this is why it's very difficult for a lot of people to recognize how to move right now. This is why the Father's like, now it's time to gain the wealth. Because if we gain the wealth, what do we have? A jubilee. When has Yasharel had their jubilee? Anyone? When has the Negro had a jubilee? No, we haven't.
When have we ever had anything to celebrate except right now, this moment, as we watch
Correct.
Babylon fall? And
Yeah.
so, again, the celebration during the feast days, it's more than important. What it does is it solidifies your request that you
Mm-hmm.
make that is
Mm-hmm.
righteous to the
Right.
Most High. That's
Right.
what it does. And
Right.
it kind of forces his hand to grant it.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Mm-hmm.
not doing that deliberately, you're doing it obediently. But he's like, well, you know what? I said it. Is he,
Mm-hmm.
does it not say his word shall not return void?
Correct.
That's why you got to use his word to manifest, to materialize anything that you want. And it takes movement. Remember, I said quantum physics had it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They had
Right.
materialization, then movement. Well, they had, yeah, manifestation, then movement.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look what we're doing. We're doing movement first by going
Mm-hmm.
out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then materialization.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So they have it wrong. And when I posed that to Jason Paget, he didn't respond.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Okay, right? Because he's got to go. First of all, he's got to go think about that. What are you gonna respond to something you're just now? And I didn't give him any examples. I just said
Right.
no. It's backwards. You would have to do movement first before
Mm-hmm.
anything materializes. You're gonna have to get up and do something toward it, even if
Mm-hmm.
it's just sit down and write it in your diary. That's movement.
Mm-hmm.
Pen to paper, write the vision, make it
Mm-hmm.
clear. You have to use the Most High's word.
I mean, thinking on it is movement.
Exactly. Mental movement.
Correct.
And
Correct.
there's nothing greater than mental movement because it allows you to actually conduct a type of due diligence in your mind where you go, well, you know what? That's a good idea, but not that way.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that helps, move toward your goal. So looking at these planets and knowing that these four categories align with the number 12.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to think that the 12 tribes are awake.
Right. 12 tribes, 12 gates. The gates are open.
The gates are open,
Mm-hmm.
which means the ley lines have been activated. But
Correct.
only we have control over the ley lines because only the Most High
Mm-hmm.
controls everything. And again, CERN shutting down and they're trying to open 2030. You think they really shut down? Did they open a portal and they're scared? Nobody can open a portal. No one.
Mm-hmm.
Only the Most High.
So no, Rodney, imagination is not king. I don't even know what you're talking about. That doesn't even make sense. But imagination is not vain. Imagination is not king.
That sounds Scientology. Thought
Yeah,
is king.
no,
Thought is
that's
king.
not.
Thought
That's not
is
even
not
what we're talking
right.
about.
And the reason thought is not king is because our thoughts are not his thoughts.
That's right.
And his thoughts are higher than ours. So thoughts can't be king. The Most High is always king, especially if you're using it in the singular.
Right. Right.
Okay. So
And that's all we're trying to do is feng shui our lives, our world to come back to the righteous way of being.
under
And
the
as a man
laws,
thinketh,
statutes, and commandments.
that's what I was gonna say. As a man thinketh, as a woman and a man
There
thinketh,
you go.
so shall they be. So therefore, to be under the righteous decree, you have to be part of Yasharel, where the laws are written in their hearts, so that they can understand the laws, statutes, and commandments. And the law is a natural law. It's not an unnatural law like these fools put together in their civilization. Again, that's why we go out and we go ask the Most High on lands, banks, financial institutions. We now ask for our substance back. Now we ask, we shall receive. This isn't difficult anymore. That's what this is all about. We've come full circle. The full circle is we've asked for justice, judgment against the nations who kept us in derision and a proverb of reproach, and we ask for our substance. And that is prophecy. Everybody else who wants to deal with, Jebus, want to deal with Paul, want to deal with the church, want to deal with mental illness, diseasement, in terms of not being able to cope within the confines of what's going on today, so be it. That's not our problem. We're not even trying. I take that back. We are moving forward and up. What's the word, sis, again?
Salak.
Which, if you think about it, it's almost Salakia.
Right.
So this is not for the weak. This is not for the weary. This is not for the Oswald Bates. This is not for those that can't pontificate, that can't understand and reason, and those that don't want to see the Father's face. This is not for them. This is for those that are Yasharel, period. And those that are connected to them, be with them. If not, you're just going to fall off. This is the time of the great falling away of the heathens. This is what this is about. This is why now all of us, if we do this, if we go to these different places 7 times 7 times 7 times 7, we've now multiplied the Father's divine number, which is his divine wishes, which is his divine power, to an extent that nobody can get with. And that is prophecy. Again, we deal with prophecy, how that looks esoterically and exoterically, and how that combines for our own good. Go ahead, sis.
I'm typing in, I was reading, I saw a question, so I just answered it. So talking about everything you just said, this goes to the heart of it. And this is why we have to be careful about how we address the Most High and how we are to give him 100% credit. He warns us, do not say a conspiracy. We know that word today, conspiracy theorists. Listen to what he says. This is Isaiah chapter 8, verse 12. Isaiah chapter 8, verse 12. Do not say a conspiracy concerning all that this people call a conspiracy. CERN, HARP, whatever, this, that. We're going to the moon. Nor be afraid of their threats, nor their trouble. Because they can't hurt us under the covenant. Can't touch this. You got to maintain high frequency thoughts of music in your mind. Not necessarily the whole song, but your theme songs. Can't touch this. I got the power. Because you got the power of the Most High. You don't have your power. It's his power. So do not be afraid of their threats, nor their trouble. The Most High of hosts, which is Sabaoth, him you shall hallow. Let him be your fear. Let him be your dread. He will be as a sanctuary. Okay? Yep. But a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense to both the houses of Yasharel, if we follow conspiracy theorists. He's going to stumble you. So we got to come out of that. The other thing we really got to come out of is the titles. And I remember you had mentioned that in one of your other lives, and you said you didn't want a title. Right. No titles. There's only one title. It's to the Most High. That's it.
Right. Right.
That's it. There's
Yeah.
no go-betweener like the Vicar of Rome. Okay, that's garbage.
Captain Pterodactyl.
Right. How can somebody go between you on earth to the Most High when you go to your final judgment, they're not there? How does that work? It doesn't. That's nonsense.
Yeah.
It's you and the Most High. It's not you and all of Yasharal first. That's not how that works. It's you and the Most High first, keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. If you're not working hard at that every day, you'll fall for the conspiracy theorists.
Yep.
Right. So he says, as a trap and a snare to the inhabitants. He's talking about conspiracy theory. Those things are a trap and a snare. When you start believing, oh, they got a nuclear bomb. No, see, in Revelation, when it says their eyes will burn in their socket and fervent heat, that's the sun scorching the majority of white folk. They lack melanin. And speaking of which, I truly believe why they're killing the young black men more in particular is because of the amount of melanin that black men carry in their scrotum. That's where the melanin is located. That's where your essence of life is. And so they go to the morgue and they drain the melanin. Why? Because there's injectable melanin. Where are they getting liquid melanin from?
Yeah, right.
They tried synthetic. It didn't work.
But at the same time, that's not a conspiracy. These are just facts. Certain things make sense. Like, so I was talking to Brother Slot earlier. We now can utilize common sense from a spiritual, which is discernment from a spiritual perspective. If it doesn't make sense, it's probably a lie. It's probably some sort of fictitious madness. But if it makes sense, then that's when you get to look into it more, figure it out.
I used facts. So one of the kids that was allegedly hung himself to commit suicide, he had broken legs. He was beaten up. So obviously you're not going to, how do you broke both your legs and then you climbed up on the tree? Or wait, no, you hung yourself and then you came back alive to break your legs. No, listen, a person can only shoot themselves in the head one time for suicide, not two.
Not twice, right.
Okay, so when you see the second bullet hole, somebody else did it.
Right. Only makes sense.
Right.
And when you lose your common sense, then you get turned over to a reprobate spirit. That's the whole thing. When we lost common sense, we were turned over.
We were in the curses.
That's right.
Thinking that we were in the lap luxury of Babylon.
That's right.
And, you know, I see, like, I can see kind of more in the spiritual that, you know, when he says, and many among them shall stumble, and they shall fall and be broken and be snared and taken. He's not just talking Yasharal.
Nope.
He's talking everybody that's falling under the spirit of the three unclean frogs. One is the dragon, one is the beast system, and one is the false prophet, which we believe the false prophet would be the Pope.
Well, the church overall.
Right, but I mean, the church follows the Pope. Even Big Judah said it, even Christianity, because you keep the same holidays. So the Vatican sends the edict down to the Catholic Church, and then they tailor it for the Christian church. That's why
Protestants. That's right.
Right. That's why they all preach the same thing. Every whatever holiday season come around. So then he says, and I will bring hope to him. And here am I and the children whom the Most High has given me. We are for signs and wonders in Yasharal. Let me say that again. We're for signs and wonders in Yasharal. not the earth, not the world, not anybody else. You can't recruit anyone into the Most High's house.
No.
Only He can recruit who He wants in His house. Our job is that when somebody comes knocking at the door, you ask the common sense questions. And if they go, no, I came out of the church, you say, welcome in. And if they say, well, I still go to church, you say, I'll talk to you later.
Right.
Because you let them in your house and they're bringing in all them church demons. Like I'm telling you, a fly came in yesterday. I haven't had a fly in this house until yesterday. Okay, I'm gonna let that go. So, right. So, we are for signs and wonders in Yasharal from the Most High of Hosts who dwells in Mount Zion. Then it goes on to say, verse 19, and when they say to you, seek those who are priests and priestesses, priests and pastors, seek those who are mediums and wizards. That's your priests and your pastors, because they've told a bold lie that the law, statutes, and commandments were done away with, and our power was done away with because we believed it. And now that we know it's not done away with, we know we can use the word of the Most High to ask for what we are required to ask for using His own word. His word will not return void. And we could end our prayer as we drive around these ley lines with, as your word says, your word shall not return void, because you've repeated only His words for the requests that you want. So, right. So, as seek, and when they say to you, seek those who are mediums and wizards, priests and pastors, who whisper and mutter, should not the people seek their God? No, I'm not seeking their God. I don't want to seek my own God.
Right. God of my own making.
Right. We can take that anyway. I don't want to seek 83's God.
Right.
I don't want to seek my own God. Their God. Right. There is really a singular and a plural usage. So should they seek the dead on behalf of the living? Oh, hell no. What is the dead going to teach you?
Right. Especially they're dead.
Right.
They're dead.
Now, here's where it's important so we understand how to make this materialization work during the ball belt basket. To the law and to the testimony. If they do not speak according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. That's why I keep telling you, any request you make, you got to seek it from the scripture, period. And it's all in there, everything.
Yep.
Okay. And they will pass through it hard pressed and hungry. Isn't that what's happening to them right now?
Yep.
That they will be enraged and curse their king and their God and look upward. Yeah, when you look upward with that fist and you say, F you, God, that's what they're doing, because they're not getting, they can't make America great again. They can't go back. Facebook and Google keep sending pictures. Here's how it was 6 years ago. And I just flip past it. I'm not looking back. I'm not turning into a pillar of salt. So they can't go back and they can't escape. So they look upward and they cast their fists. Then they will look to the earth and see trouble and darkness, gloom and anguish, and they will be driven into darkness. Now, hell can also be a place of pure darkness, so you can't see anything, you can't move. But the fact of the matter is, this is how they are today. Whereas now we're saying, number one, before I forget, don't forget the deeds office. It's always across the street from a courthouse. So there's powerful ley lines there. And it's generally right where the property tax office is. So we could pray for that to go away, because we really haven't, although I have, but not collectively.
The tax assessor's office, yeah.
Right. So the barbell basket means that basically what we start during this period of time should last up to 3.5 years if we use scripture for the space of a half hour, because a day is as 1,000 years. So a half hour under the Enochian 18-hour clock system puts it at 3.5 years. Under the 24-hour clock system of Rome, it puts it at like 4.3. That doesn't line up with scripture, but 3.5 does. It lines up in Revelation. So if we look at Revelation, so we understand where they are, and we understand how important it is that when you go out to these ley lines, you're using the word of the Most High, not your own words, where you can add, let me be a witness. Instead of where it said Uriah was the witness, you can say, you can stop the prayer and turn to the Most High and say, let me be a witness. So we look at Revelation 16. And I do agree with you, Brother Moriel, when you said that Revelation, it's kind of out of order. Like with the horses.
Yep. It's all out of order.
It's not right. It's not the only passage, because this one says, and the fourth angel, that was Three-Eye Atlas, because 3 + 1 is 4. The eye is 1. The fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun. There's a picture of Three-Eye Atlas shooting an electromagnetic energy into the sun. And from it's done that, the heat has increased.
It sure has.
So the fourth angel, Three-Eye Atlas, poured out his vial that shot upon the sun, and the power was given unto him. Is not Shemesh a him? Correct. Yep. Lowercase him. To scorch men with fire. Now listen to how the scorch works. And men were scorched with great heat, the heat dome, and they blasphemed the name of Yahweh, which had the power over these plagues. So one of the plagues is the heat dome. And they repented not to give him glory. So if they didn't give him glory, what should we be doing when the heat dome is taking these wicked out?
Glory. That's right.
We should be giving him so much glory that the neighbors want to know why you're having such a good time.
Right.
They don't understand it. And I'm finding that there is much power that when I'm out there, I'm glad I got Sirius XM, because I prefer music over TV. And I'm playing the good house music, the good ones that have the good words, like the one I said, life is something special. And it opens with, this is something special for you. And then he goes with words like, if you can see it, you can touch it, you can mold it, you can shape it, you can have it. Those are high frequency words that if you're playing that over and over, your brain starts to believe it. Just like if you're playing smut and garbage, your brain starts to believe that. So now this angel has poured out his vial upon the sun. That's Three-Eye Atlas, because now everybody showed this picture of Three-Eye Atlas. It literally parked in front of the sun and shot this huge, almost green-like substance, like the green in the Aurora Borealis, into the sun. And so he was given that. Now, if you continue to read about the vials before and after, you should note that they may be out of order. But right now, I know for a fact that Revelation 16, verse 7 and 8 is taking place from Three-Eye Atlas hit. That's three-eye Atlas right there.
It's a good eye. Yep. Yep.
I'm sorry, Revelation 16, verse 8 and 9.
8 and 9. Yeah.
8
Yeah.
and 9. Revelation 16, verse 8 and 9. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him, Shemesh, to scorch men with fire, the drought, and the sun, and it's caused combustion. And men were scorched with great heat. We're seeing the heat wave over in Rome and here, and blasphemed the name of the Most High, which have the power over these plagues. So the 10 plagues of the apocalypse of Abraham, right?
Yeah.
Right. What is that? Fiery conflagration of the cities.
Yep.
Well, the sun giving off 110 degrees is still a fiery, but it's not a conflagration. It's fiery though. It's burning, and their skin is turning into sores.
Yep. Plagues.
So So I see three-eye Atlas, what it did to the sun, as the fourth angel pouring out his vial. It could have been the third angel. We don't know the order because they could have messed up the order. So I'm not going to go by that, but I know one of the angels, three-eye Atlas, poured his vial out onto the sun. And so that to me gives me confirmation that the Most High is in charge of the celestial realm. And as long as we're under the law, statutes, and commandments, it's our lips to his ears. As long as it's righteous and we use his word,
That's right.
He'll do it.
That's right.
He'll do it.
That's right.
So I'm going to try to write something, and the nation can choose to read it or whatever, because I'm going to be reading it at some peak point, which will probably be between the 19th and the 21st. So the basket should give 4 types of. Let me look at this now. It should give 4 types of a physical gift. It should give 4 types of a mental gift. And it should give 4 types of, well, it would be spiritual. So it would be 4 spiritual, 4 mental, 4 physical gifts. If I was reading that on an esoteric level, like I'm reading 3 times 4 is 12, which should mean that the 12 tribes are awake.
Yeah.
But if we get this right, then the tents of Judah is raised through the Most High.
That's right. And if we get and if all things being righteous, we'll get rid of Cain, Canaan, Japheth, Esau, Moab, Tyre, all of the heathens round about out of our tents. And that's the key. To purge these folks away from us. Now, are you still got a little bit more, or
No, I'm done.
Okay, because I wanna read this. I just put this in the chat, but
right ahead.
I'm gonna read Psalm of Solomon 17. Now, when I picked this one, I was like, wait, that's not the same thing that I've seen before. So I'm gonna read this one. Check this out. Psalms of Solomon 17. The Most High, you yourself are our King forever, hereafter. For in you, now this is Solomon speaking. For in you, O Elohim, does our soul boast. How long is the time of human life on earth? As is his time, so also is his hope in him. But we hope in our Elohim, our Savior. For the strength of our Elohim is forever with mercy, and the kingdom of our Elohim is forever over the nations in judgment. Most High, you chose David as the king over Israel, Yasharel, and you swore to him regarding his descendants forever, so that his kingdom would not fail before you. But because of our sins, sinners rose up against us. They attacked us and expelled us. Those to whom you did not promise robbed us by force and did not glorify your glorious name. With glory, they set up a monarchy for the sake of their haughtiness. They stripped bare the throne of David as a price of arrogance. But you, O Elohim, threw them down and eradicated their seed from the earth when a man alien to our race rose up against them. You rewarded them, O Elohim, according to their sins. It happened to them according to their works. The Most High showed no mercy to them. He searched out their descendants and did not release any one of them. The Most High is faithful in all his judgments, which he makes on the earth. The lawless one deprived our land of inhabitants. They did away with young and old and children at the same time. In his beautiful wrath, he sent them as far as to the west and made them the laughingstock of the officials of the country without mercy. The enemy acted arrogantly in his estrangement, and his heart was alien to our Elohim. So he did in Jerusalem all the things that Gentiles do in the cities of their strength. And the children of the covenant among the promiscuous Gentile became masters of them. There was no one among them who would act in Jerusalem without mercy and truth. Those who loved the assemblies of the saints run away from them as sparrows fled out from their nests. They wandered in the wilderness to save their souls from evil. The saved souls of anyone from them was precious in the eyes of the exiles. They were scattered over the whole earth by the lawless one, because the heavens withheld rain from falling on the earth. Springs were stopped from those perennial in the abysses to those in the high mountains, for there was no one among them who practiced righteousness or justice. From their ruler to the smallest of the people, they were in kind of sin. The king of transgression of the law and the judge in disobedience, and the people in sin see the Most High and raise up for them their king, the son of David, to rule over Yasharel, your servant, in the time which you chose, O Elohim. Undergird him with the strength to destroy the unrighteous rulers, to cleanse Jerusalem from Gentiles who trample her to destruction, to drive out in wisdom and in righteousness the sinners from the inheritance, to crash the arrogance of sinners like a potter's jar, to smash all their substance with an iron rod, to destroy the lawless nations with the word of his mouth, to make the nations flee from his presence at his threat, and to put sinners to shame by the word of their heart. And he will bring together a holy people whom he will lead in righteousness, and he will judge the tribes of the people that have been made holy by the Most High, their Elohim. He will not permit unrighteousness to pause among them any longer, and any man who knows wickedness will not live with them, for he will know them that they are all children of their Elohim. He will distribute them in their tribes upon the land. The sojourner and the foreigner will no longer dwell beside them. He will judge peoples and nations in the wisdom of his righteousness. Pause. And he will have Gentile heathen nations serving him under his yoke, and he will glorify the Most High in a place visible from the whole earth. And he will cleanse Jerusalem to reach a sanctification as she has from the beginning. So that nation will come from the ends of the earth to see his glory, bringing as gifts her children who had become quite weak, and to see the glory of the Most High with which the Elohim has glorified her. And he will be a righteous king over them, taught by their Elohim. There will be no unrighteousness among them in his days, for all will be holy, and their king will be the Yahweh Shai. For he will not trust in horse or rider or bow, nor will he multiply his gold and silver for war, nor will he narrow for many nations the hopes to a day of war. The Most High himself is his king. the hope of the strong. Through the hope in their Elohim, he will even show mercy to all nations who stand before him in fear. For he will smite the earth with the word of his mouth forever. He will bless the Most High's people with wisdom and joy. And he himself will flee from he himself will be free from sin in order to rule a great people, to put to shame officials and to win sinners by the strength of the word. And he will not weaken in his days, thanks to his Elohim, for his Elohim made him powerful in the Holy Spirit and wise in the counsel of understanding, with strength and righteousness. And the blessing of the Most High will be with him in strength, and he will not weaken. His hope is in the Most High, who then is strong enough against him, mighty in his actions and strong in the fear of the Elohim, shepherding the Most High's flock faithfully and in righteousness. He will not let any of them fall sick in their pasture. He will lead them all in equality, and there will be no arrogance among them, that anyone among them could be enslaved. This is the beauty of the king of Yasharallah, which the Elohim knew, to rise him over the house of Yasharallah, to discipline it. His words will be tested by fire more than the finest gold, the best. He will judge in the synagogues the tribes of the sanctified people. His words will be as the words of the holy ones in the midst of sanctified people. Blessed are those born in those days to see the Baraka are those born in those days to see the good things for Yasharel, which their Elohim will cause to happen in the assembly of the tribes. May the Most High hurry up his mercy over Yasharel. May he deliver us from the impurity of unhallowed enemies. The Most High himself is our king forever hereafter. Selah. I wanted to just read that because that is the summation of a thing. That is what the whole world has come to lose sight of. Because when they try to think of that, they fall flat. They struggle. They have no wisdom. And now here we are. And he said, Baraka, blessed.
Right.
Those born in those days to see the good things for Yasharel.
This is where we are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always a great thing. It's not great to marvel in the individual suffering out there, but it's great to see the wicked removed, especially when it's a lot of them in one swoop and you just can't fathom that many people. The brain doesn't calculate 1,200 people in one country. Right. And over in Europe, one country is the size of a state over here.
Right. That's right.
So that and we don't know the numbers for the other countries. But the last thing, something just came to me. The 4 planets represent 4 powers.
Mm-hmm.
And the 4 corners. Well, I already said the 4 corners. The 4 planets represent the 4 powers of the 4 corners of the earth.
There you go.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Yes. Okay. I'll go up to that level. Because that's a higher level than just 4 powers.
That's right.
Or the 4 powers of the angels, because there's a rank of angels called powers.
That's right.
The 4 degrees represent 4 levels.
Mm-hmm.
And the 4 different houses, all I could think of was 4 homes for each of us in the 4 corners of the earth.
Yeah. I see that as the 4 pillars that build the foundation.
Okay. I'm gonna change that to pillars.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, write a simple prayer or just pull up 2 screenshots of the scripture, drive through, say it, and then ask for that civil recompense. Mm-hmm. And your word shall not return void. That's what you say. And I read you your word, Abaya. Yep. And then, I know the ley lines are open in the portals. And you can even mention your guardian angels that will assist to get it through, because obviously the angels carry the messages in Daniel. Okay. So, right. So, and
and make sure that you do it 7 times.
right. So you technically, because you mentioned Joshua. So Joshua, 6 days he went around one time. The 7th day he did 7 times.
That's right.
What you guys have to do before you go out is sit with the Spirit and the Most High and say, okay, I'm going to do this. How do I do it? Now, you already have an understanding of how to do it. You're just asking for the confirmation, the guidance. Brother Leon called me early this morning, and then he called me back 2 hours later, and he said, look, I'm sorry I called you early, but there was a pressing on him to get out there and do this. And he said once he did it, he felt very relieved. And the last thing is, every address he went to had 144 on it.
Yeah. And this is
that could be that the 144, I would think, are our children, because they've never been violated by a woman. A woman in scripture is religion. We've all been violated by religion because we've all been to church or Christianity or some form. But our children that we are raising and our grandchildren that have not gone in because their parents understand that they're Hebrews, I believe that's the 144. Because it says they have not fornicated with a woman. Fornication with a woman in scripture is you going into a church. It's not you sleeping with an actual physical woman. So only the grandchildren who are being raised under the covenant have not fornicated, right?
Yep.
So that's how I rationalize it. I don't know. But anyway, 144 could also mean that they've been sealed and the 12 tribes are awake. That's the 3 fours. And then the powers of the angels and the Most High, and then the 4 levels and the 4 pillars. And okay, now I'm done. I'm so sorry.
No worries. No, sis. But this is all, yes. Meditate, ask the Father,
and then go out.
Ask the brother and go do it.
And be sensible about it. If you pull over, hold the phone up so people can see you're on the phone. They'll leave you alone. They'll be like, oh, that person is safe. They pulled over to handle the phone.
Well, okay? and all that's true, but you're already protected in what you're about to do.
Well, but you don't want to be disturbed, and you don't want to look crazy just talking to yourself.
That's
so
right.
If you hold the phone, they think you're on the phone, and then you're good, and then you can be much freer. So that's all I'm saying. As a precaution, depending on where you are, definitely want to hit up the banks, register of deeds, listen to this again, and I'm sure you'll get it all, and then work it out with the Spirit and get out there and move in silence. Nobody else outside the nation needs to know. If there's any trolls here, who cares? The Most High got them.
And there's bringing Sly, but Exodus 14:14. The Most High shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. This was stated to Yasharel right before they went through the Red Sea. So just remember that. All praise to the Most High. Brother Sly.
Shalom, Mark. Shalom.
Shalom, Brother Sly. Shalom.
Shalom, beloved daughter of Zion.
You wanna you wanna take us out?
I've been looking for something over the past few minutes. Y'all touched on so many topics this evening. It was a great lesson. Very great lesson. Well, let me see what I can pull. pull real quick. Go through the notes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yep. Psalm 91. Mm-hmm. Bring out that. What'd you say earlier? Baruch.
Which one?
Was it Baruch 36? Is that the one you said we're talking about?
Being 36, that lines up with
Mm-hmm.
correct
Yeah,
Psalm 1. Okay, I could bring that. That's short, to the point.
Poignant. That's right.
Okay. Yeah, this is why we don't debate these heathens.
Mm-hmm.
Baruch 3, 36, and 37. He have found out all the way of knowledge and have given it unto Jacob, his servant, and to Yasharel, his beloved. Afterward did he show himself upon earth and conversed with men. And that's not all men. Those are the men of Jacob.
Yep.
It's short and sweet, to the point.
That's it. That's it. And that's why we now get the opportunity to be one stick in his hand as the whole house therein. And in doing so, we have power amongst the collective to be able to move mountains, to change kingdoms, to rise up, to make things proper, to cure, to heal, and most importantly, to come out with great substance. And everybody else who don't believe, so be it. Everybody else who is not within the collective, so be it. This is not changing nor stopping the judgments that's upon Psalms 83. And that's what we give great glory and great joy for, because if not us, then who? And considering the Most High is calling us all out of her, now it's time for us to get 14. Genesis 15, 14. And that's an all praise to the Most High indeed. Let's see. Let me answer some quick. Let's quickly go over some comments. Let's see. My question. I mean, don't worry about that. My thing is with the gates to the kingdom, just make sure that you're there. Just make sure that you're there. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And there's no gate for Abraham.
Right. Abraham is already in the kingdom.
Abraham, right. You're trying to get to his bosom, and then he's going to sanctify you to go before the Most High. The Most High will still tell us what we did wrong, and then we've already repented, but it's to remind us never to do it again. And
That's
then
right.
he'll say, go, this is your station. Go handle the business.
Right. That's right. That's exactly right, sis. Well, we are bringing our power back, and the power to be collectively, ones and twos on the twos and threes. We are banging the gavel, the drum, the rhythm is now upon us, and we have to maintain it. So grow within it. You know, if people are not in the same harmony, in the same rhythm, then you got to cut them off, or at least push them away for a time. You know, we're building this, and we're building it together. This isn't me. This isn't Romy. This isn't Sly. This is a collective. And the more we do these things, considering the more we do this wealth, substance transfer, what is it? Bigger the cap, the bigger the peeling. This is just where we coming. This is the new kingdom. Brother Sly?
Yes, sir. Yep. It is no amount. There's no amount of debating Paul, the law, any false Christian eschatology will stop their destruction.
No, not at all.
Yeah, we're not here to waste time. We are kingdom minded.
Mm-hmm. And imagine, and not even imagine. Think forward or forward thinking when we collectively start bringing our substance, our wisdom to build our kingdom. What's going to happen to everybody else? Will we even care? Will they even be here? Will they be there? We're the ones that are rebuilding now with the what's that dude's name? Barbo Gate open. We get to rebuild. We get to build. They don't get to rebuild. They don't get to. I mean, that's Obadiah. They don't get to. They don't get a redo. The world doesn't get a redo. Only us. And that's the beautiful thing of the times that we're in. That's again what Solomon said. Baraka, where is it? Are those born in those days to see the good things for Yasharel, which the Most High will cause to happen in the assembly of the tribes. That's the collective consciousness. First. So be at peace. There, as Brother Levi always says, poignantly, there will be no Jacob's trouble. And we're here for one another. And much love and much respect. And Baruch Hashem for being here with us and supporting us. Brother Sly, you want Brother Sly and Brother Roman, you guys got the last words, and then we're gonna go to the music.
I'm not a brother.
I mean, Sister Roman.
I got you. I got you good. No, I just want to say Baruch Hashem to the nation. Baruch Hashem. Go out there. We're going to open. The gates are open. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask for our civil recompense. Mm-hmm. Shalom, shalom, shalom.
And I'd like to say to the nation, once again, be at peace. There will be no Jacob's trouble, regardless of how many scriptures these Canaanite heathen, chocolate-covered Edomites take out of context and try to force them on us. Open your eyes. 83 is being destroyed. All praises to the Most High.
All praise to the Most High, Brother Sly. All right. Let me do this thing. Baruch Hashem. Until next time.
Crush giants, power that can navigate clouds without pilots, power to influence the crowd and start riots, bring about a beautiful world with no violence. Got the signs to crush giants, power that can navigate clouds without pilots, power to influence the crowd and start riots, bring about a beautiful world with no violence. yeah, all gold, everything. 5:30 when the bell rang. Whole building power up like a cell, man. A million years still running like a Mustang. Yeah, it's a new day. Stained glass all red like a Tuesday. Stay on 83's head like a toupee. Magnetic, how the blessing pursue me. Excuse me, cause we coming through. All dressed like Thursday, so blue. Looking good, smelling good, feeling brand new. Like we ready for the king to make his debut. Coming near you, it's a party, y'all. Put your feathers in the air, gon' start it off. Ain't nobody scared of none of y'all. We give the praise to the most high, set it off. Don't let it off. Got the sign to crush giants. Power that can navigate clouds without pilots. Power to influence the crowd, start riots. Bring about a beautiful world with no violence. Got the sign to crush giants. Power that can navigate clouds without pilots. Power to influence the crowd, start riots. Bring about a beautiful world with no violence.
The dark gods. As like we talk about the word Elohim. The Elohims can be considered gods. Plural. Not singular, plural. So you're talking about different extraterrestrial entities.
All praises to the Most High. I and I keep a sharp sword and it's close by. Settle my debts, we don't mess with a cosign. Pattern my steps in the field for the landmines. Beat begging like a hand sign. Going back to Jacob Circle, that's a damn lie. Shit the vibe like a ley line. And we'll light this place up like it's daytime. I got the message, be at peace, so I'm feeling cool. And I don't care about your yapping or your feeling fool. Cause we ain't never giving energy to any enemy that literally made for nothing but a footstool. You special down to the molecules. Got the magic manipulating your particles. And we do it for the saints with the arsenals. Keep your Grammys, radio stations, and articles. Wow. Got the sign to crush giants. Power that can navigate clouds without pilots. Power to influence the crowd, start riots. Bring about a beautiful world with no violence. Got the sign to crush giants. Power that can navigate clouds without pilots. Power to influence the crowd, start riots. Bring about a beautiful world with no violence.
Some of these gods have been put over the other nations to lead them astray. We have been under the authority of the Most High. He didn't put other beings over us to lead us astray.
Got the sign to crush giants. Power that can navigate clouds without pilots. Power to influence the crowd, start riots. Bring about a beautiful world with no violence. Got the sign to crush giants. Power that can navigate clouds without pilots. Power to influence the crowd, start riots. Bring about a beautiful